Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday, and of course every Thursday we do a share and review. Today's no different. We're going to take a look at Ryman Healthcare. Now, before I jump across and show you a few things, I'm going to show you as well how to find out if a share is about to go ex-dividend, because usually shares will fall in price the day after the share goes ex-dividend. In other words, the day after a share is going to cut off for those shareholders that are holding the shares in order to receive the dividends. So I'm going to show you that because we are right in the middle of reporting season. Now, just before I do jump across, remember that this is for educational purposes only, definitely not intended to be personalised financial advice. If you're looking for that, then you do need to go and have a chat to your own financial advisor. Right, let's have a look at Ryman. Once again, I've gone into Yahoo Finance and I've typed in Ryman, RYM.NZ, and this time, instead of just going to the chart on the left-hand side, I've gone onto the profile tab because a number of people have been a little bit unsure as to perhaps if they're going to invest into a share, they're a little bit cautionary, which is right, when a share is going to go ex-dividend. So if you click on that profile tab and just scroll down a bit, you've got upcoming events down here. So you can see on the 27th of November, that's when Ryman is going to announce their earnings date. And then usually, this is 2022, they might not have been paying dividend, but this is where you would normally see if a share is going to go ex-dividend. So if we were 2022, anyone who owned shares up to and including the 8th of December would be entitled to the dividend. Anyone owning the shares from the 9th of December onward wouldn't be entitled to the dividends. So looking at this, it looks like Ryman perhaps isn't paying a dividend at the moment. But let's scroll back up and let's go to the chart. Right, here you go. Here's Ryman over a 5-year period. So each of these candles is representing 1 week's worth of trading. And you can see here by the Ds, the last time Ryman actually paid a dividend was back in May 2022. Hasn't been paying one since then. So that is why we're not seeing one coming up in their announcements with the forecast earnings. Hey, who knows? They may change that. I don't know. Let's just scroll in. So Ryman, as you can see, has been in this downward trajectory. It's certainly been a fall from grace stock. And you can see here that if I just scroll back out, you can see basically Ryman has been falling since where it reached its high of around $14 odd. And that was obviously 5 years ago. It's been falling ever since. So let's just put a 200 period moving average on this and see what it shows us. No, there'll be no surprises. I'll just leave that as simple. So you can see there we've got a lovely little arc and it's heading down, and Ryman shares are trading well beneath that arc. So it's definitely not a share that I would be interested in. But this is what you can do. If you're not sure which direction a share is maybe trading in, put your moving average, make it a simple moving average, and put a 200 period. And then that really gives you an idea. Obviously, it's a very slow moving average, but if the shares are trading beneath that, then that's a very good indication that the share is perhaps in a downward trend. Hey, it could be starting to reverse, but we want to see a lot more positive activity from that. Let's go and change this, and we will make it our 30, and we will make that an exponential moving average. Slide that along. You can see that Ryman is just above it, and it's really only closed above it 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, so nothing exciting there at all. I'll just go back out, and this time we will put on our moving average, but change this to a 15 period. Right, you can see here with that blue line, that's the 15 period moving average. That too is trading up, so the share is trading above both of those. It is getting quite close that potentially it might cross through, and in which case we could be putting it on a potential watch list to see what's happening. But if I look down the bottom here, there's very little volume. You can see back sort of April this year, there was a big sell-off here, and then since then the volume has been really very low. So that's not usually the signs or the characteristics of a share that is certainly going to break out of a trading range or anything like that. When you start to see green bars for the volume, that can be certainly quite aggressive buying indications. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's pop it on for a 1 year and just see how that's looking, simply because it makes these candles daily. And you can see that the 15-day moving average did cross above through the 30, and that happened at around the end of September this year, which is a good sign. But to me, I would definitely want to be watching it. I mean, that 200 moving average, it's still trading below that. It's not looking like it's on an upswing yet. This could mean that we're in a bit of a sideways pattern. Who knows? It's definitely a share that I would not want to be owning at this stage, simply because there's just not enough positive indicators. But like we always do, let's jump across and see how this also compares against the main indices for the New Zealand Stock Exchange. And you can see there, it's definitely a laggard. So over the last 5 years, the New Zealand stock market is up about 9.9%, just under 10% for the 5-year period. And Ryman Healthcare is down 79%. So to me, it's got a lot of work to do before I would want to be interested in buying Ryman Healthcare at this stage. So I really hope that's helped. I'll stop sharing. And hey, just remember, it's not too late to register. Tonight at 7:30, I have got the Introduction to Investing webinar coming. Love to see you there. I will put the link in the show notes. Like I just said, it's not too late to join. And if you've got anyone else that maybe is thinking, I'd love to start somewhere. So this is a very elementary course. We're going to talk about things like compound interest. We're going to take it right back to basics. So you definitely don't have to be a share trader or interested in the share market to get started in investing. So like I say, link is below, and I'd love to see you there. And just remember too, if there is a share that you'd like me to take a look at, doesn't have to be on the New Zealand stock market, anything that you'd like to learn on share trading, just let me know in the comments. And again, I'm willing to help. So until next week, take care.